What's up, bro? I do CrossFit. I know, we go to the same gym together. Plus you've got a man bun, you're wearing a headband, you've got a muscle tee, and short shorts on. Quite honestly, I'm surprised you're even wearing a shirt right now.
Or am I?
Anyways, listen, I brought you here because I wanted your advice on, you want a pair of my short shorts? No, not that. You want bigger calves? You want to build some muscle? Yes, I am interested in that. I'm trying to build some muscle, so I was just wondering how much protein I should take.
How much protein do you eat?
Well, right now I'm taking about 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. Is that enough?
Only that much protein? Those are rookie numbers, bro. You gotta bump those numbers up. You gotta sit at least 1 gram per pound of body weight per day.
1 gram per pound of body weight a day? Are you sure?
Oh, I'm sure. It's bro science, bro.
Like this broski, I'm sure many of you have heard that to build muscle, you need to consume 1 gram per pound of body weight per day. But is this bro science backed up by evidence? And what if you're not trying to build muscle? What if you're just trying to support your daily training? How much protein do you need? Let's take a look. Let's break down protein requirements for athletes into 3 categories. Number 1, building muscle. Number 2, supporting your training. And number 3, if you're trying to lose weight. Category number 1, building muscle. How much protein do you need? According to the ISSN, the International Society of Sports Nutrition, for building and maintaining muscle mass, an overall daily protein intake of 1.4 to 2.0 grams per kilogram of body weight per day is sufficient for most exercising individuals. Now, according to this systematic analysis that they cite, 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight per day seems to be the sweet spot, and that any protein above that amount doesn't really seem to have any extra benefit on building muscle mass. Now, there is an exception to this rule. So if you're an individual or an athlete who is undergoing intense physical activity, or you're a well-trained athlete, then that recommendation goes from 1.7 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. So the bro science does fit in here because that high end of the range, the 2.2, is equivalent to 1 gram per pound of body weight per day. Let's define a well-trained athlete. So in the study that they cite, the inclusion criteria, it had to be an individual who had trained for more than 3 years in strength training for 4 to 5 days per week for at least 1 hour per day. Okay, my personal recommendation is that if you're trying to build muscle, you should sit at the lowest point at that sweet spot, that 1.6 grams per kilogram per day, up to 2.2 grams per kilogram per day, or the bro science of 1 gram per pound of body weight per day. Now, I give you a range because you should adjust it according to your training. So if it's a low intensity, low volume day, you can sit down at 1.6 grams per kilogram a day. And if it's a high volume, high intensity day, then sit at that 2.2 or the bro science of 1 gram per pound of body weight per day. Are you gonna build muscle at 1.2 grams per kilogram a day? Yeah, probably, but it doesn't seem like it's ideal. And if you're trying to get the best results, sit up towards those higher protein ranges. Category number 2, what if you're not trying to build muscle and you're just trying to support your training? Whether you're a recreational athlete who does CrossFit or Orange Theory, or maybe you're a runner, how much protein should you consume? Well, the ISSN general recommendation for exercising individuals is 1.2 to 2.0 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. Now again, just like the ranges for muscle building, if it's a light training day, 1.2. If it's a heavier training day, then sit closer to that 2.0 grams per kilogram per day. And in the final category, what if you're trying to lose weight while exercising? How much protein should you consume? The recommendation is 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. Now, this recommendation will work fine if you're overweight. If you are obese, this might give you a protein range that is an absurd amount of protein to consume in one day. So what the recommendation would be is to base that off of your goal weight, the ideal weight that you're trying to achieve. Now, if you want to be even more specific and you have access or the ability to get a DEXA scan or maybe have a bod pod nearby, then you can calculate your body fat percentage and thus your fat-free mass. And if you've got that number, then your protein recommendation range is 2.3 to 3.1 grams per kilogram of fat-free mass per day. In my personal opinion, 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram a day is a little bit low. I would just mirror what the muscle building is doing. So 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram body weight per day. Why? It's just an abundance of caution. You see, when you're trying to lose weight, your ideal goal would be to preserve as much muscle mass as possible. Why? Because it keeps your REE up, your resting energy expenditure. Some of you know this as your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. This is the amount of calories you burn just being sedentary. Now, the higher you keep this, the more energy you burn through the day, and across time, that is going to help you lose more weight. All right, let's summarize all of the protein recommendations, starting with building muscle. So it's 1.4 to 2.0 grams per kilogram a day. But if you are a well-trained individual or undergoing strenuous, intense exercise, then it's increased to 1.7 to 2.2 grams per kilogram a day. My personal opinion, you should sit on the high end no matter what. So 1.6, which is the sweet spot, to 2.2 grams per kilogram a day. Now, if you're not trying to build muscle, you're just trying to support your current training, it's 1.2 to 2.0 grams per kilogram a day. I actually keep showing 1.4 because that comes from the ISSN. The 1.2 is actually from another nutrition notebook. But anyways, it's kind of the same recommendation. Now, finally, if you're trying to lose weight, that recommendation is 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram a day, but I think that's a little low, and just to be cautious, you should sit at 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram per day. With all this being said, you still need to put in the work. You need to train hard, and you need to make sure you're meeting your caloric needs no matter what, whether you're trying to increase muscle, maintain, or lose weight. I hope this helps. Have a good one.